themselves and they're working. It's not for them. I would like to appreciate your gesture, appreciate your coming. You go out there, advocate for Teachers Aid. We have over of teachers in FCT. My colleague, Mr. Chivo, please can you put your hands for Mr. Chivo Anderson? We're given a job to train the whole teachers in FCT on child protection and case management, and we end up establishing protection officers in all schools. If you go to all the schools, they know me and him. We're famous because we taught the teachers because of the former Minister Bello and the former said, no, we have to train all our teachers and certify them. Teachers all over FCT, over 30,000 teachers. The secretariat decided to say, okay, we look at a lot of things so that teachers are really going through a lot. And there's no way the teachers will have. That's why we know that teachers are very poor. Like me, I'm a seasonal teacher. I've taught for 20 Salamari, taught American International, so this starts right. I became a consultant for ERC and quality assurance. And when 2016, where I now left teaching profession. Those years, I will tell you that I cannot pay a house rent of 500. Bravo, who put me there? I started eating salary of 500 plus, and I could pay house rent and get married. But if I was still there, I gave it up in 2016. I suffered so much. 2003, I entered school 2001, did my internship. I graduated 2005. I was doing my internship. When I came to internship, I started teaching physics. That's when they now put me into the school. And I thank God today that at least I can have a point. So we looked at what we did and said, no. As I'm talking to you now, at least we know that over 2,000 teachers have been touched in that. And that's how we met Professor Pogodo when he came to give a lecture on an empowerment scheme for our teachers when he gave them cooperative. This man, please put your hands here for him. So a lot of teachers, about 400 were empowered through cooperative through him. And since then, he has been part of us. Here today, we're also going to see how we can help some of the teachers because we cannot wait till October 5th, which is what teachers. So all our adoptees, you must go to your schools, any school of your child, buy gifts. Go to the school and say, take. This is a culture that doesn't happen. It's just few parents that does it. I can tell you, all of you and none of you, I can bet that I've gone back to the teacher and said, teacher, I remember you used to flog me, take 200,000. It's only maybe you are going to your aluminium or you consider this own. I don't think many people, when we met with the first lady, said she too has forgotten. How can they grow? That's the question. So today's theme for today, 2024 theme for what it is, empowering educators, strengthening resilience and building sustainability. The reward of teachers, the reward in heaven, we have changed that to word. The teacher reward now is on earth. Appreciate the King's College. Also, we want to create a kind of, we realize that we lost a lot of teachers even during the program. where a teacher will call just for malaria. I can tell you with the volume, over 30 teachers died for common sickness that they could cure because the health insurance scheme was not there. If you check our magazine, we're able to do whatever. Because the private school teachers are different from the government. Even the government are suffering. There's nothing going on there. There's still, if you see the men that has put their hand in one or two business, but say you're in class, because that teachers spend 7 months or 8 months in a year inside the class. From 7:30 to 4 o'clock, they must be in school. All those hours, 30 minutes can make a change in their lives. If they were doing business or they're going to have to do for business, but they stay in class, taking care of our own kids, see how they can be the kids. So they don't have time. Before you know, 5 o'clock, like one of the teachers, I close 4. I go for extra lessons, 5 o'clock. I do 2, so I can add up to my salary. And still it's not enough. So, and I end up by 7, 8 o'clock, 9, I'm entering the house, I'm tired. And I'm waking up again by 6:30 or 7 to go to school. I don't even have time to think. That's why I see teachers, you see their throats here. Any teacher you see, it doesn't grow far because they keep talking and they talk. Every teacher has just taught to like a python, cobra. So any teacher you see that have big ear, that's not a teacher. Yeah, must go inside because the job they do every day is talking. I've never seen a teacher that goes to school that doesn't talk. Even though they hold him, don't talk, he must talk. But his job is to see how he can impact a change. At this time, teachers need attention and welfare because the work they are doing, the time they spend, how they build our children, we can't. They're giving so much, but the government are trying to try for the government. The government cannot do everything alone. And if we can, just as the professor said, we can teachers, then expect the nation to be better. The reason why the nation is failing in leadership is that the teachers now don't have concern with the children anymore. If you call me to teach now, I don't think I'll put that extra effort because I realized that teaching profession especially in Africa and Nigeria, is poor life. I got married at the age of 35 years. When my mates are married 29, 31 because of I don't have enough money. All the girls don't want to marry because I'm a teacher. But when I became a honorable in AMAC, 2, 1 was green. This class for me now. You know why she's laughing? Because she has also felt a lot. Like I tell you a lot of stories, but I cannot take your time. The reason why we're here, I just want to say this because we want to write that ugly narratives. We need to go back to our schools. Every word teacher said, I go to my school, my child's school. I have 4 kids, and I give the teachers 10,000. They say, what's wrong with this man? They don't know that because I was a teacher. I went through a lot. Some of the parents, I gave award there because of their consistential impact to other teachers, like Dr. Angama. Please put your hands together for this man. The reason why we're doing this is because of what we've gone through. For over how many years? 2003. My life was trouser, shirt, no more than 5 shirts. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I wash it on Saturday because I know that. And let me tell you something. The salary, if they were paying me 65,000, but I can tell you before the end of the month, I borrowed 20,000 from the account because I don't have enough transport. And those parents I do extra lessons for, before they pay me those, they're supposed to pay me this week, they'll pay me like in 2 weeks. Will I complain? I still keep quiet. You understand? So there's a lot of things that teachers are doing, and the only impact we have is our kids. It's not that our children will teach, model them very well, but other things like cars, houses. If you say it's either inheritance or God came through someone and gave you something. If it's that, go and check it out anyway. Even the biggest private school, go and check it. How many are old cars? Go and check it out. They cannot because the time they give is too much. 8 months in a year, how many hours in a week? Without leaving the place, they're just there, roving around there. Hey, sit down there. Hey, are you there? So, what a lifestyle. So, I have a lot of speech. So I want to start up a project. This project has high goals. We have over 15,000. Now, registered members are over 5,000. Government has given us about 1,500. Our cooperative have empowered 500. we are still doing, pointing hand on people to help. Because when they call, I think we lost almost 30 teachers of malaria. They call in the night. Some of them lost their wives, their kids in the night. No money. And they will call the school say, come on Monday. And the sickness might be on Friday. Nobody to give to them. Even some of the parents they call, they say, I don't have. Parents that they know you, they will think they don't have. It's we, they will still call. We will still, in the night we will still go there. Pay the necessary little fees. Because now we have health insurance scheme for them. We are able to meet with Wiki to have how teachers can own estates. Have you ever heard that teachers have estates? Even shops, they don't have. Nothing. After retirement, they still go back to where they are. It's except the children become something that is broke. We don't want those kind of ugly talks anymore. We want teachers to be rich. We want teachers to hold Mercedes Benz, khaki, and take class. We want teachers to have businesses. Stay in class. Outside the classroom, their wives are operating a business for them. Where they get 500,000 naira. Some of them were crying when government gave them 500,000 naira. We sponsored the bill that Buhari signed to every child to have from 1 million to 5 million to start up a business. But what happened? COVID-19 came and the money was siphoned to COVID-19 problem. President Buhari did it for teachers. 2000 when it was just the second year, first year, no, this 2024, 2020 or 2020. He signed a bill, a money. And the money was meant to, that's why in schools they were going to write what they call TRCN. The TRCN is that when you register it, when you go to do it, you go to the bank, they will give you a loan from 1 million to 5 million to start up a business. But then we were the one doing the registration till COVID-19 came and all those things crashed. What did now call us in CBN and call it was bring 1,500 names. They did not pay them 500,000. But those people were still grateful for those little money. So please, we don't see teachers like doctors. We want to see them like doctors, engineers, because what they are doing is the same thing. It's the same thing. So when you go to, if you want to try this, go to a school. I've gone to a school before. Money about Yaradua Foundation, about 5 people. They joined the money to build that school. It's in the magazine. I brought my friends from Spain because I did my masters in Spain, and they raised the money and built the school in that working year. Because the school was crying out. I understood they were sitting down on the floor. Nothing, open windows, and it's a government school. So what kind of thing is this? So what we want you to understand is that we want you to be committed to carry our teachers along. If you want to try, go to a school. I helped 5,000 one day. I went to a school. How many want to be doctors? If you see when the children were dragging me, pharmacists, they said, no, doctor, soldier, they said, police, after calling all these professions, and that's how many people want to be teachers. Do you know what happened? All of those people, there, even the little ones go. So I saw one girl that's 3 years old, dog jumping, raising her hand, and I said, no, come. This girl is a brilliant girl. The girl came out. What's her name? She told me her name, and I told the whole school, almost 500 children. This girl is my best friend. I'm taking her to Mr. Biggs. I'm buying her chicken public. I'm going to buy everything because she's my friend. They were looking at me. They were asking themselves why. And I said, because she says she wants to be a teacher. I am a teacher. That's my colleague. And we're friends. So I brought her 5,000 naira. In the front of the children, and I gave the girl. And I said they should clap a clap. When I said, I want to be teacher, all of them raise up your hand. Then I asked one of them, why don't you, they said look at their uncles. Because if you see the teachers, they were in one place, like you look at them, like they're hungry, they want to cry. Because the way the student did was like forgetting their profession. Tall, soldier, policeman, even if you even bring farmer. When I say farmer, people are jumping. But when you say teacher, because they used to see their teachers in class, all of them, you know how teachers used to be. You understand? So, and the educational system here is very porous. So we're going to be empowering over 3,000 before the watch has by October ending. We're supposed to get up to 3,000 in different ways. Now, we cannot be begging money. What we just did now is to bring people on table, like minds, like you guys. That's what the university did for us. The university said, I don't have money to give. The last time they gave power teachers 3, they gave 2 million. The doctor gave 2 million. Please, let's clap for him. When he gave out 2 million, he now called me. He now said, Honorable, If I'm giving you 2 million every 5 months, my university will collapse. What I will do is that find people that we can borrow, can even give us something to empower the teachers. It will make more sense. We don't mind whatever they bring, let us bring it. I will stand in. That is my own contribution. And that's what the university have done for 2 times. Please put your hands together for them. They have stood by us. And some of our teachers today are running programs in their institution. The institution is in Karo, Maraba, a very massive school. They run masters, PGD, because some of our teachers are using NCE for over 30 years. We done a sandwich program for them. And today, most of them, you can check in the magazine, we've got many masters degree in education, we've got many NCE in his institution. And he has done so much, over 500. And he has been partnered with us with all his mind. Today was very busy, but that's why we postponed this program to today, because he was somewhere. I had a program on 24th last week. He said, Honorable, if it's for this teacher to grow, me and the teacher, I must be there for you. So I want to thank you, Professor Toby, for all who has been in our back. So all of you that are honoring is not because you brought any money, it's because you joined the campaign, joined the team. Look at your schools. Don't neglect them. We know what they are going through. For over 15 years, to going to 20 years, I can tell you how my life was. I started toasting to marry for 31 years. Okay, it was not easy. If you don't look at you, where do you work? I teach in Salamaris. The teacher. Okay. If you call them the next thing, they don't pick on again. And sometimes the girl will say, come and meet me in Chicken Republic. Not the money is the problem, but that time I'll be a surprise. Listen, maybe on Saturday I'm supposed to be free. I do 3. From 11 to 5, I'm in some people's house. Sometimes I even used to sleep. I tell you some things that some teachers come here. I was staying in my father's house in Garki till 32 years to that. I was sleeping in the parlor. We have a room, my father have to push me up and down. So when I come back from school, 7, 8, I sleep in the parlor, hide 1 pillow. In early morning, my father will come by 4 a.m. and on the lights, purposely. I said, Daddy, I'm sleeping now. Why are you sleeping? Your mates have their own house here. I said, I'm a teacher. That's my business. Please clap for the Bravo here. I would like to appreciate your gesture, appreciate your coming. Come to give us the lecture.
We're talking about teachers today. We want to talk about in the Nigerian educational system. You see, the Nigerian educational system has its structures. There's pre-primary school. There is primary. In fact, there is basic, 9 years. From primary 1 or basic 1 to basic 9. And then we have the secondary school for 3 years. And then tertiary institutions, the colleges of education, the polytechnics, and the universities. Our objective today, we want to know what really is the Nigerian educational system talking about? What are the challenges that the teachers are facing? What impact are these challenges having on the educational system and the economy? And we'll try to offer solutions and provide recommendations. Education is the engine of any country if it wants to grow and develop. I'm sure we all know that by now. That's a given. We know. Without education, like someone said, if you think education is expensive, try. Thank you. So, education is an aid to life. You can see. That's why I like teachers' aid. Education is supposed to be an aid to life. We are still wondering whether we are achieving that in Nigeria. It's a springboard for anything we want to achieve in life. I know now a lot of the narrative has changed. people that are really making it sometimes may not be that they went to school or anything. It could be formal, informal. You know, the issue is this. If we're not getting what education is supposed to be really in this our country, so we have to do something. Sometimes we forget the importance of teachers. And that's why some of the teachers are treated, maybe just a little percentage of them have good privileges where they are working. But some are treated in a way that, okay, we're going to talk about that. But we need to remember that the children in school, they need guidance, they need support, they need skill development, they need inspiration, they need to be motivated, they need to have role models, they need to have assessments, feedback. In fact, the curriculum that we are having could be so robust. If we don't have a teacher to implement it, it will just be there. No matter what you have in place, you can have a good place, a big school, without teachers. It will just be an empty building. As in, without, not that there are no teachers there, but without good teachers, the building will just be there. I'm sure we've experienced some of these things I'm trying to talk about. We have a very big school, we have good structure, we have good playground, we have everything. Yet the children are not learning. Because the teachers are not as effective as they're supposed to be. Even if you want to have a very good parent-teacher relationship, it's still the teacher that is in the picture. It's still the teacher that is in the picture. What are we talking about? Shaping the future depends on the teachers. For instance, I cannot forget my primary 5 teacher. I can't. Because he believed so much in me. In those days that federal schools were for the high and mighty, he made sure that I wrote that exam. He sent me home from school one day and told me, don't return until you come with the money for the form. Maybe I would have just continued. I was in a mission school, Presbyterian church school. Maybe I would have just continued from there and then just my parents could pay. But a teacher believed in my abilities as little as I was then. And that just changed my mentality about life. Because when I got into that federal school, I saw that, wow, this one's father is a governor, this one's dad is a minister, this one's dad is a central. Admission list was out. One of the teachers came to visit someone in our compound. I was like, I saw this address in our admission list. Is it possible that a child from here is going to be attending our school? Yes. And that was because I had a teacher that was impactful. So, talking about the challenges facing teachers in Nigeria, we have a very big problem. And that is one of the things that has been troubling me. That issue is the admission into courses that give educational qualification to people that will teach our children. I don't know whether you got that. Like admission into colleges of education, into the university, department of education, educational courses. Do you know that it's the people who remain? What can I say? The remnant of the students are the ones that grudgingly take on educational courses. But it's the opposite in other countries. They go into the secondary schools and select the best brains. We're going to get there. They go into the secondary schools and select the best brains. While in other climes, the best brains are selected and set aside to study education. In Nigeria, it is the opposite. It's the people who couldn't get admission that end up studying education. I'm not happy about that. I want it to change. I don't know how we're going to fight this cause so that we can change this narrative. And even the cutoff points for other courses have been reduced. So what's going to happen to those who are going to the colleges of education? What's going to happen to those who are given, in fact, they are dashed educational courses? Like, they didn't choose it. I've interviewed people for the past how many years, and I always ask them, how did you get into education? How did you get into studying this course? They always end up, like 80% of them say, that's what they gave me. That's what they gave me. And those are the people that we want to come and solve the educational problem in Nigeria. I don't know how we're going to do that. So, and even apart from that, you see that there are some areas that people are not even going to school. Not to talk of saying that we're going to train people who are going to help our children in the future, who are going to mold them to better this generation that we are having, the way we are having it. And now we're talking about poor infrastructure. I don't even need to talk about that one. My research topic for my PhD was facility and educational qualification and educational outcomes. I can tell you that there are some schools that no child to go to that. It is not balanced. Something is happening in our educational sector that is affecting the teachers. Will not find the children because they are not in school. Because of maybe one belief or that the children are not in school. I know we all know about this. We need to do something. Poor infrastructure is a problem for our teachers. Equity. There's disparity in educational opportunities in Nigeria. There's problem. And even some of the schools have different marking schemes for different sectors of the country. How are we going to have the right slice? Let's say we have a cake. The country is a cake. You cut it. Is it going to have the same taste? When people are in the same school and they are being marked in different ways. I don't know. Let's think about it. And then down to budgetary allocation. It's supposed to be 26% of the entire budget that should be set aside for education. Please, who can tell me what percentage of the budget we have for education in Nigeria? Please help me.
Less than 10.
Less than 10. Please, can you clap him? No. As I speak to you now, Nigerian teachers face the highest number of challenges in the world. You can imagine, I asked Meta AI, who knows about Meta AI? I said, please, which countries do we have in the world that teachers are really facing challenges the most? It's our beloved country. You can imagine. Then we have poor teacher welfare. It's terrible. Some of the salaries cannot take the teachers home. It's really bad. Professional development, they don't even have it because some of the school owners think, oh, I trained you, you left. Another one comes. When am I? How? No. Even when they sign bond, it doesn't hold anything. Another set will come. They will refuse to train because the last set they trained left the school. So what's going to happen? If no one is training the teachers, what's going to happen? Or what has been happening? Then we have large class sizes. You know, the government schools are very good. But I tell you, the issue is population. It's population, very terrible. You find children sitting on one another in some of the classes. That is an issue for a teacher. Some of the teacher ratio to students we have in Nigeria is 1 to 124. But I tell you that that's still a joke because it's more than that. We have cultural factors that affect some of the teachers. I don't want to go into that. And then we have governments coming in. One government will come, start something, another one will come and say, no, that cannot continue. They will bring something else. That is an issue. Because when are we going to stabilize so that we can look into education? We have other problems in other sectors. When are we going to stabilize politically so that we can finish the problems and then face education? When are the teachers going to have their reward on earth? And then there's this conflict between the state and local government. Is it the state government that should take care of the school, this particular school? Even we have the problem with roads too. When you say, it's federal road. It's federal road. Why should we have such a state in our country? We have teacher shortages. When you have shortages of teachers, it means that one teacher is going to do the work of, it's going to do more than what that teacher is supposed to do. And that is an issue. And then you have the interest of the children. So the children are not interested, I tell you. Interested. No matter what you do, they will just be there. I was in a classroom with children for my subject. And like half of the class was not interested. I was like, that these children are interested in what I want to teach them. And I was so zealous, I was doing teaching practice. So I was ready, I had my books, I had my notes. I was like, wow, I'm going to teach. I was so excited. I got to class. Oh my God. Out of 80, guess how many came to class? Hell, less than 40. I had to start looking for them. Saying, at least you, go and get your friend. By the time we finished, we were like 60. The next day, all of them came. When they came, when they saw that it's like there's work in this class, my dears, they started leaving one by one. But I had to go and be looking for them. Do you know that still 20 of them escaped me? I ended up with 60 students instead of 80. And even among the 80, among the 60, one of them was like fierce. He was not interested. He was older than all the children in the class. He was like 23. It was a senior secondary class. So he was like their baba. And me too, I look very big. So how will I talk to this guy? But I can tell you that at the end, he became my best friend. But it's not every teacher that will have the time to run after children. Then we have this curriculum today. We have the other one tomorrow. What is the school year pattern in Nigeria now? Before now, we had 6334. I went to 654. We were the last 5. Then after me, after my set was 6334. Now what do we have?
9 years.
9 years of basic education. 9 years. So you see that right now, families are still running after primary 6 living certificates, even when the children have not done primary 6. But the government has told us that it is 9 years of basic education. Yes. It's 9, 3, 4 now. That's how it is. Then we have children skipping classes. I hope none of us here is guilty. We have children skipping classes, yes. And we have children being admitted into classes when they are underage. We have 8 years going to secondary school. We have 9 years. We have 10. It's a problem for the teachers. Because today we're not doing child psychology, but I tell you, the brain cannot take more than that your lesson you're doing. There's a part of the brain that will accept that lesson you're doing. You're pushing the child, pushing. But mind you, maturity is waiting. Maturity is waiting. The gap of maturity will show up. We are not on that topic today. Now, there's this stressful admission process into higher institutions. So even if a teacher really wanted to study education, sometimes, I don't want to go into that. There were some images online, some videos online that we saw that children were learning inside water, some sitting on cement blocks. It's a problem for the students and the teachers. So the impact of these challenges on teachers, students, and the educational system. When there's so much problem to think about, there will be a high burnout rate. The teachers will be stressed. And there will be low morale, no motivation. So who is going to help the children? The brain drain. The talented people that have left Nigeria, oh my God. we have decreased students' performance, and then the quality of education surely is going down by the day. And of course, we are talking about national development. If the teacher is stressed, is not happy, facing challenges, how are we going to talk about tomorrow? Because the people that are supposed to develop tomorrow are in our classrooms right now, with those teachers who are facing one challenge or the other. Now, I did a comparative study of educational systems in the world versus Nigeria. Oh no, it's terrible. Look at, let me just read out the figure of teacher shortage alone, according to UNESCO. In Nigeria, right now, UBEP gave us this figure, 194,000 teachers. In US, 112. Though in India, they are more than us, 1.4 million. In South Africa, 24,000. United Kingdom, 30,000. But we have a country that has only 500 shortage of teachers. Which country is that? Which country do you think that would be?
Finland.
Finland. Please roll applause for him. Roll. And let's go again. Roll. Y and thank you for that. Now we have another issue. The money, because it's stemming down from the budget. If the budget is less than 10%, how much is going to get to the schools? How much? And how is it going to be with us? How is it going to be? Now, look at the challenges in other countries. It's just a, I don't know how to put it. When you check the challenge in Nigeria and the challenge in other countries, you know that those countries don't really have issues. It's just that the teachers have reached the point, maybe their own breaking point according to their own economy. Now let me read Finland's educational system, what it is known for. And they lay emphasis on teacher training. You know, that's what I said when I started, that they go to the secondary schools and fish out those A students, A+. Those are the ones that become teachers in Finland. I've seen a video where a teacher walked into a bus in Finland and someone stood up, maybe because of the ID card. The person sat down. Do you think a teacher can enter a bus in Nigeria and somebody will stand up? How? How? They have strong support for their teachers. And automatically they have high-performing students. Do you know that the Finnish education system is the best in the world? It's the best. No other country comes near the Asian countries. None other. Why? Because they are so intentional about the training from the beginning. They are intentional about the packages they give to their teachers. They are intentional. In fact, the teachers are like kings in those places. They have good working conditions. They have good resources for their teachers. But you see, Nigeria does not just appear to be the highest teacher challenge country. It is. The teachers in Nigeria have the highest forms of challenges. There's shortage of teachers, there's welfare problem, there's inadequate training, there's classroom management problem because of the size of the class, there's infrastructure deficit. Now, after talking about all these problems, how do we solve these problems? How? We need a collaborative effort. It's not one-man job. It's not a one-man show. Everyone's hand has to be on deck. The government, the school administrators, and there's something I did not talk about. Yes. See, there are some schools that the integrity level has gone down. I don't want to explain that. But I know you understand what I mean by the integrity level. If you get the report card of your child, can you honestly say that that's your child's report? Yes, that's a food for thought. Think about that. The integrity of our school system is at stake. The integrity of our school system is as it has to be everyone, the parents. Look, you cannot just go to a school. Why should a school just stay? A parent will bring a child and tell the school that my child is supposed to be in primary 2. And the child is received and fixed in the class. Is that not going to be a problem for the teacher? It's going to be a huge concern for the teacher. Because that child's brain may not even be able to take the capacity of the task in that class. That is a problem right now. I'm raising an alarm. It is a problem right now. We are just accepting children into classes that we didn't test for. No assessment. We just open the doors just for the population to grow. I don't know where we are going to. Tomorrow beckons. Now, the teacher working conditions should be improved. I don't know how we're going to announce this. Like I was saying at the beginning, trainings should be done wholeheartedly. As in, don't worry that you trained this set and they left. So you have to train another set, they will soon leave. So if everyone stops training, who is going to train the people that you want to employ? And the admission process into schools, I think we have to look into it. Who is going to study education? We need to look into that. And the government, I don't know, they are not here, but let's just say it, that please, UNESCO said it is what percentage? UNESCO suggested or recommends what percentage of the budget for education? How many or how much? 26%. 26%. Right now we have less than 10. So they have to help us. They have to help us. We need infrastructure. We need library. We don't have a functional library. I know you can say that now there's information on Google. Anybody can get onto Google and get information. But I'm telling you that we still need functional library. I don't want to say that I went to the library and I found books that have been published in the corridors of the National Library. Though the last time I went there, the situation was better. I saw shelves and I saw that they were packing them. But why should the books even be in the corridors in the first place? That's intellectual property. Someone, suffered, and then the rigors of getting ISBN is not here. After that, you find your books just laying everywhere. They are working on it anyway. Then keep. I don't know why a primary 4 child should be going to junior secondary 1. We just feel that, oh, my child is smart, my child is a genius, my child is wonderful, my child can move to secondary school. How? What's going to happen? Anyway, it is the fault of the schools who are accepting those children into those classes. That is the truth. We should not grade skip. In other climes, you can say that yes, some children are genius, some children, yes, but there are not many. I know a child in my former school that went to secondary school at age 8. I'm a witness. Her sister was of age to go to secondary school, but because of her brain, the way she's just a genius. She went to the same school with the elder sister. She was in the same class with the elder sister. She beat all of them, including her elder sister. At YH, she got all A's. In fact, the school got admission for her. The admission scholarship fund she got, at the point, she told the schools not to pay her again. They said, okay, you paid your school fees, send your personal account. So her sister schooled with her own scholarship fund. Whatever she got can keep her up to PhD. She went by 8 or at 8. And other parents started following that. Oh, you can read the stories online, and her name is Bubuli. Her name is Bubuli. You can Google it there. So that's just 1 out of maybe 100 million children. But guess what? Parents started pulling their children. Bubuli went to secondary school at age 8. You see what cousins and relatives are doing to teachers? They are creating problems for teachers. And then we should bring digital education. We should bring digital education for our teachers. Nigeria should, from a functional curriculum. I was trying to check the last a national educational conference. Who can tell me the year? 1st June 1969. Look at me. What are we talking about? It's a problem. In fact, that is the main problem. 1969. 69. And then we want to compete with the rest of the world. And you know, Nigerians are so intelligent. When you look at the world records, you see that these Nigerians, this doctor that did this is a Nigerian, this one that did this is a Nigerian, the other one that did this. So but what is happening? You know, sometimes when I hear that a Nigerian did something, I first of all check, where does the person live? Where does that person reside? It's a problem. Our teachers need to be. So, because of time, I'm not going to bore you with talk. In conclusion, you see that the children are the leaders of tomorrow. Leaders. That's if they will ever be given the opportunity to lead tomorrow. But what we teach our children is that where you are, you need to lead from there. Leadership is not when you go into politics. Leadership is every day. That's why we teach self-leadership. Move yourself. Climb up. Go to the pinnacle. Get to where you're supposed to be. That is what we teach our children. Now, we need qualitative education. Qualitative education depends on, like I said when I started, no matter the curriculum you're running, please teach thinking to the children. What did I say? No matter the curriculum you are running, please teach thinking to the children. Teach them how to think. Give them thinking skills. That is one of the things that I want us to see. We've talked about collective effort. We've talked about collective effort. It's everyone's business. The challenges that are facing us today is everyone's business. We all have to put our hands on deck and make sure that it works. Here my issue is in this country. When we go, okay, I did an interview, I did an assessment for a child whose parents were residing in Canada. The auntie I was giving the report to told me that, you cannot say this about this child. I don't know how I'm going to tell the mom. And I told her, put her on phone, I'll talk to her. Because this is her child, and this is me, seeing what is happening with her child. And she put the phone on, and I told the parents, I said, Madam, your child cannot go to the class you want her to go to, because this is what is happening. She does not have the skills. This is what is going on. And she said, Madam, I already know. When she comes here, she's going to be in primary 5. But guess what class she was going to in Nigeria? Who can guess? Guess what?
Yes.
Yes, two. You're so intelligent. Please roll and pop for yourselves. Roll, one. Awesome. She was asking for just 2 class. Guess what? How old was she? 10. 10 years. She couldn't even, because in our school, we'll bring it to thinking level. Higher other thinking questions. That is what we do. And she couldn't just 2. 10 years. How? That means she went to just 1 at 9. Now she's 10. Because she's tall. Big. Is that how tall and big her brain is? No. We need to help the children. I'm done with the lectures. But one of the issues that has been disturbing me, and I don't know how we are going to solve this problem. So I'm going to open it up to you. How can we solve the grade jumping problem in Nigeria? How can we stop children from skipping classes? Because this is where the problem is. This is where the issue is. challenge the most. Because they pack the children into the class without even checking sometimes. And then at the end, the teacher has a bad name. Yes. At the end is the teacher that has a bad name. So how are we going to stop it? How are we going? Because sometimes even the people making the rules, take their children from primary 5 to secondary school. It's a problem for the teachers. And then when it's time for the exam, what do you expect? You expect that child, right? That is it. That's a challenge for the teacher, because at the end, they will check the results for those that have integrity. Of course, the results will be poor. And it will be that the teacher did not do anything. Meanwhile, who admitted the child? Meanwhile, who brought the child for the admission? So how can we stop it? I want someone to help us. Who can provide solution?
August Assembly. I want to say that Albert Einstein said that a teacher affects eternity. What it means is that how shall they learn without a teacher? The foundation of every nation, the foundation of every society is anchored on teachers. They are those who dispense knowledge to empower the nation and to take the nation to. Unfortunately, in some African nations or in Africa, teachers are the most neglected. That teachers need, in order to be recognized in the society, will be dispensed. Because the truth is this: if the society doesn't recognize you, then you stand on the shoulder of giants to see the world clearly and acquire the sorely needed knowledge to be recognized by the same society. It's just like a woman that is up to the age of 45 and is not yet married. What she needs to do is to look for men and seduce them and get married. Where what you need, the world will not always give to you what you need. We live in a complex world. We live in a chaotic society. We live in a world characterized by paraphernalia and regalia of adversities and diversities. This is the reason you must strive earnestly to acquire the sorely needed wings, strong wings, to fly high for the best and be recognized by the society that does not want to recognize you. Thank God for the Teachers' Aid Foundation, set up to lift teachers out of quagmires, to lift teachers, to lift the curtain, and allow them to see beyond the seemingly endless cycles of repeated abortions of dreams and shattered dreams that has formed an umbrella that has covered our teachers so far. The Teachers' Aid Foundation is strategically positioned now in Nigeria, not only in Abuja, in all the 36 states of the Federation. And sir, I will really appreciate if after this event, you raise up 36 state administrators for Teachers' Aid Foundation, in order to recognize governors, in order to recognize senators and House of Reps that have made dispositions, impeccable and implacable footprints on the shifting sands of time as far as education is concerned. When you recognize the governors that have made implacable footprints on the shifting sands of time as far as education is concerned, when you recognize leaders that have made landmark achievements as far as education is concerned. Indirectly, you are focusing the torchlight on teachers and innovation in that country. You're going to see creativity in that country. Become a technologically inclined country. When the guest speaker was speaking, I listened attentively and I stumbled on one word. She said we should teach the students, the children, how to think creatively, because creatively they will creatively recreate. Education is not all about acquiring certificates. Education is because you have been empowered within the four walls of the classroom to think out of the box, to think creatively, to carry your destiny in your hands. In a nation where the citizens have boarded an aeroplane whose pilots have lost control, the navigating compass. Therefore today, we are gathered here to dispense honor to those honor belongs. We are gathered here to honor those who believe in quality education. We are gathered here to place them where they ought to be placed, so that they can carry the message, so that they can carry the inspiration to the learners, so they can aspire for vital things of the future significance. We are gathered here today to raise up pillars for the Teachers' Ed Foundation. And that is the declaration of our purpose of being here. At this very point, we'll gladly appreciate if all the inductees, the awardees, will march out and will come back with their golden insignia. A golden insignia is going to be given to you. And anytime you look at the golden insignia hung on your neck, then you remember that you're a pillar of Teachers' Ed Foundation. Then you remember that you must deliberately go out of the box and see what impact you can add to the collapsing educational system of Nigeria. The speaker made mention of the last time the National Policy on Education Confab was held, 1969. I don't want to go into that. Now, what is a three-dimensional universe? The whole universe is divided into 4 dimensions. Just like the whole universe is divided into 7 kingdoms. You have the first dimensional universe occupied by inanimate objects. Dimensional universe occupied by fallen angels. You have the third dimensional universe occupied dimensional universe occupied by the supreme being, a realm of all possibilities occupied by only one being that was never created, never formed, and never made. He alone occupies the 4th dimensional universe. So we're talking about the destiny of Nigerian educational practitioners, not in the first dimensional universe, not in the 2nd dimensional universe, not in the 4th dimensional universe, but in the 3rd dimensional universe. What are the features of the 3rd dimensional universe? What are the characteristics of the 4th dimensional universe? What makes me to know that this is the third dimensional universe? Number one, it is a chaotic universe characterized by uncertainties and complexities. The third dimensional universe is a chaotic universe. It is a universe where you don't need to find anybody's trouble. Whether you are gentle or you're violent, whether you are good or bad, you will still have friends and enemies in the three-dimensional universe. It is a world of the survival of the fittest. And the law, the reigning law, the extant law of the third dimensional universe is very clear. That one animal must eat another animal to survive. That is the extant law of the third dimensional universe. We have said it is complex and uncertain. You can never tell what tomorrow will be in a third dimensional universe. And also in a third dimensional universe, nobody will recognize you. You must strive to be recognized. Nobody will honor you. You must strive to be honored. Nobody will cure your problem of poverty. You must strive to cure your problem of poverty. Nobody will heal you of your wounds. Nobody will comfort you. You must strive to be comforted. This is the characteristic of the third dimensional universe. And here you are in a third dimensional universe. What are the solely needed wings? Because when the going gets tough, the tough has to get tougher in order to adapt to the complexities, to the difficulties, to the chaos that characterize the third dimensional universe. Now, we have spoken about the characteristics and the features of the third. What is the destiny of Nigerian educators in the third dimensional universe? Maybe we should look at the destiny. We know the destiny of Nigeria, then we can tell what will be the destiny of educational practitioners in the three-dimensional universe. I want us to look at the mathematical aspect of it. Mathematical derivation of the destiny of Nigeria is my second subtopic. My first subtopic was features of the third dimensional universe. My second subtopic is mathematical derivation of the destiny of Nigeria. And is it possible for us to use mathematics to foretell what will become of Nigeria? After all, the weather forecasters use mathematics to forecast what will be the weather, the times and the seasons. And in astrology, numerology and mathematics is used to define the purpose of things. So how can we peep into the destiny of Nigeria? Today, if you know the destiny of Nigeria, then you will no longer have problem in Nigeria. You will no longer be among the complainant eyes in Nigeria. You will no longer be among the ones that are striving for paradise. I roamed around the world searching for paradise. I left the four walls of Nigeria, went to remote countries of the world, up to the tallest mountain, Mount Everest. I was seeking for paradise. I found none. I discovered that paradise is the state of your mind. I discovered that there is no land on earth called paradise. And there will never be a place on earth called paradise. Then I also discovered that poverty is the state of your mind. There is nobody that is born poor, and there is no poverty anywhere. It is the state of your mind. Wealth is also the state of your mind. There is no nation of the world that is wealthier than another. is anchored. Mystify the destiny of that country. Who will decipher the code, the intrigues, and the shenanigans that culminated in the dwindling of the giant star 9 called Nigeria in a three-dimensional universe? So, what is the destiny of Nigeria? Can we use mathematics to open the door? Because I said today a curtain will be lifted and it will allow you, and you'll be allowed to see beyond the seemingly endless cycles of woes and repeated abortions of dreams you found in your fatherland. The curtain will be lifted and you will be empowered to see beyond the quagmires, to see beyond the nightmares, to see beyond the Casimirs, to see beyond the cosmos organon pestilence that has encapsulated your land of nativity. Now, to the destiny of a country or the destiny of a person, there are two keys that are involved. Number one, the date of birth of that thing, the date of birth of that country. And number two, the date of independence of that man or that woman or that country. Don't forget, every one of you seated here, you have your date of independence. It's the day you were free from the cares of your parents. You went to stay alone, to make a living by yourself. That is the date of your independence. We want to see whether we can see the destiny of Nigeria in our date of birth, in our date of independence. Now, there are prizes to be won. So I want you to take note of the answers you're going to give. Nigeria is currently operating in the kingdom of minerals. Nigeria has violated the extant law of the universe by circumambulating, circumlocuting, circumnavigating out of the kingdom of men, where our destiny lies, into the kingdom of minerals. And this is punishment. The destiny of Nigeria does not lie in the kingdom of minerals. The more Nigeria sells crude oil, the more Nigeria will be indebted. And the more they sell crude oil, this nation may be declared a state of emergency. Because the destiny of Nigeria does not lie in the kingdom of minerals. Rather, it lies in the kingdom of men. You recall the number 9. Okay, now let me take you back to something. Nigeria occupies which number in the three-dimensional universe? What number? 9. Number 9. How many states do you have in Nigeria? 3 plus 6. 9. How many local government do you have in Nigeria? 774. Reduce it to 1 digit. 7 plus 7 plus 4. Reduce it to 1 digit. 9. The states 9. The local government 9. Let me further unveil something to you. The whole name Nigeria, if you decode it, it will give you 9. The name Nigeria, let us decode it. N stands for what? N stands for what? Please write down 9. I stands for what? What number does I represent? 9. And that N stands for what? It cannot be 9. N stands for what? Everybody say 9. The number, what number represents N? N is an alphabet. What number represents N? Just decode it.
19.
19.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Then I stands for what?
9.
Keep it. G stands for what?
8.
Whoever is going to win this is going to go home with a wristwatch today. Wristwatch. Not after the program, in this program. So, after everything. Now, G stands for what? E stands for what? 5. Then R stands for what? Calculate it. R. 18. You are very sure. Then I stands for what?
I stand for 9.
Okay, so A stands for 1. Add up everything. What do you have? Everything. Add up all the numbers you have gotten.
9.
All the numbers you have gotten, how many? If you have it, you are going home with a wristwatch. Add up everything. What do you have? Please signify by lift of hand. When you add up all the numbers that makes up the name Nigeria, what do you have?
9.
No. The total number, what do you have? Nobody's going to win a bracelet or a wristwatch. Add up from number 1. When you decoded N-I-G-E-R-I-A, when you add up everything, it will give you 63. And 6 plus 3 gives you what?
9.
Nigeria occupies the number 9, and the number 9 is the number of a man. So the destiny of Nigeria lies in the kingdom of men, not in the kingdom of crude oil. Henry Becquerel called America when America was very poor and said, the way you are now, you will remain poor forever, except I tell you the truth. Your destiny lies in the kingdom of stone. What is this? This is uranium. Go and enrich uranium, and you will become the world's superpower. For unveiling that secret, the energy in uranium killed Henry Becquerel. She died as a result of radiation from uranium. And America picked up the stone called uranium, looked at it, cherished it, embraced it over and over, when nobody on earth knew what uranium is, and started enriching uranium and formed a nuclear weapon to use it to subdue all the nations of the world and become the world's superpower, to terrorize nations of the world and collect what legally belongs to them in battle and convert it to their own wealth. With this, we are going to bring to an end today's lectures and dispense honor to those honor belongs. My earnest belief is that each and every one of you seated here now known why Nigeria is poor. It's not fighting corruption. It's not poor because we don't have good leaders or bad. If you bring Barack Obama to rule this nation will still languish behind the infernal pit of poverty. If you bring Clinton came to Nigeria, gave Nigeria $30 billion. The money developed wings and flew away from the treasury. Until today, nobody knows where it is. Whether the cow swallowed it or monkey swallowed it, but it's gone forever. It was meant to make Nigeria a first world country. Should we all continue to sleep in a stupefied state of slumber while our nation is decaying on daily basis into the state of oblivion? Before your very eyes, your country is wasting away. And your belief is that it's only in the hands of government. Never. It is also in your hands. You are going to partner with Teachers Ed Foundation. And what is going to happen is we are going to comb this land for inventors. And we will not rely on federal government. We will not rely on state government. We'll bring in investors to invest in their inventions. And by so doing, we will remedy the kite called Nigeria that is dwindling. You know something can be dwindling in the three-dimensional universe. Since this nation got independence in 1963 till date, the destiny of Nigeria has been dwindling like kite in the sky. There has never been a time that this nation has known peace or has seen wealth. I and you will lift up our hands for Nigeria through the Teachers Ed Foundation, and Nigeria will surely be saved. At this very point, we want all our inductees to please move out in one line, wear their gown, and return back. The line there, we're all moving in together. No time for photograph here, please. This is the time for roll call of inductees.
We do that afterwards.
You have to stand up. You have to stand up.
All the inductees to please line up here.
Yes.
This is a very important time. I want all the inductees to please line up here and make sure the photograph that's about to be taken, your face appears because it's going international. It's going to go on Google. All the inductees, take us a good photograph.
Well, just go back to me. Yes, please. Please come back to me. Come back to me, sir. Come back to me.
Thank you, my Chancellor, and my fellow professors, Honourable, who has hosted us here. I really just want to say thank you to my Chancellor and Honourable and everyone that's organising this, because I am a teacher. In London, I used to train Nigerian teachers to get top jobs. Do you know the average salary in Britain for a teacher is 50 times what it is in Nigeria? 50 times. So we have to do something. So anyone who's doing a good job for teachers is wonderful. I had to tell my wife to give up her job because in Enugu, I'm married to an African woman, by the way. It's the best thing you can do, you know that. And Africa's a wonderful place. But I want Nigeria to be a superpower, and it starts with education. So it's a very good cause, and you should take the leadership mantle as you get your doctorate or any other award. Because teachers, you know, in India, I was in India teaching, teacher training program, and there students touch the feet of their teachers as they come in. Touching your feet means we honor you. You are like father to me. But we don't do that here. So I had to tell my Chancellor, he knows my wife, well, currently she's without a job. She just handles my finances. I had to tell her to leave because in Enugu she was getting 56,000, master's degree, been a teacher for 15 years, and you're paid slavery wage. It's not good. So we must build teaching professionals. And if there's anything we're going to do to transform this society, it starts with teachers. Hallelujah. So all of you here, we honor you very much. This is a very special occasion. Teaching, advanced teaching, is the future of Nigeria. Thank you. I'm glad to be part of this. Thank you, Jonathan.
The inductees of the honorary doctorate degree. Please put your hands together for yourself as they're walking. Please clap for them.